like, okay, what do I say on that one?
I have nothing to say with that. Okay. Once again, RB Radio. Let's go to our topic of the day. Now, Dree, at the beginning, this is a disaster. Can you date, multiple people at the same time? Dree, why did you say no?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I know that I can't because I'm a very emotional, unstable person. I'm very unstable when it comes to emotions.
Oh, Lord.
So I have to date that person exclusively.
Well, is your boyfriend listening? Does he know that?
I'm sure he is.
To what
degree does this unstable?
I'm the Queeness and Gigi. It's a lot of women that do that as well as men, but I think that looks kind of bad on women to date more than just one man. I don't like that. It makes them look like the W word.
Whore.
Yes, that word.
Who? My thing is, it just depends on what do you clarify as you're dating. Are you dating because I'm just going out with different people and talking with them on the phone and exchanging experiences, or am I having multiple penises in my vagina?
Right.
Because I feel like then maybe you can say, oh, Lord, what is she doing? But it's still her prerogative. And I think people should date more than one person. I think sometimes we as women, we'll find this one man that we like, we'll date him, he becomes our everything, all our eggs in his basket, and then we act as if we ignore these signs that he shows us. Oh, he's crazy. Oh, he doesn't call me back. Oh, you know what? If you were dating one more guy, you would, and that guy was actually doing what you wanted, opening your doors, calling you one time, showing that he cares, you wouldn't put all your eggs in this one person, act like, I have to mold this man what he has to be. No, you don't. There's other men out there.
You have a point there.
And so, I think sometimes we're too ready to be in a relationship too fast. We just went out on one date, and then we're ready to be totally exclusive. And it's like, unless you have that talk and say, we're going to be exclusive, we're going to be monogamous, or we're going to be exclusive, or we're going to have an open relationship, but I'm going to be your main girl.
It's totally up to the woman.
Do that.
Right.
I think when you're trying to when you're young and younger, or even older, if you out of the dating field again, and it's definitely the dating field. You're not committed. I mean, that's the difference. And even if you're committed, then you need to be honest with both people and say that you like them, that you're dating and you're dating somebody else.
Right. And I was looking online and they kept on saying, be all honest, open communication. I'm just like, come on now, men can't take
Nobody
that.
does that in the year 2012.
Nobody does that. I think they're lying. My whole thing is, don't lie. I think you should just automatically assume as soon as you're dating somebody, they're going to be dating somebody. If you have not said we're exclusive, we're in a relationship, we're not having sex with anybody else, then you should assume this person is having sex with somebody else. Use protection. It's different if all of a sudden.
Number one thing, yes.
And then all of a sudden they cheat. That's a whole different thing. But I mean, I think you should come to this assumption.
Okay. Well, then I was an article on WikiHow.com. I'm not saying that Wiki is the greatest source of credibility and information, but they would talk about date more than one guy at a time for women, and they gave two strategies. The honest strategy, which is what you're talking about, Aquinas, and then you have the sneaky strategy. So in the honest strategy, you would be open and honest about what you're doing.
But see,
you have to also feel that nothing is wrong with dating more than one person. You know, and so there's a reason to hide it. But
I think it's different. Like, just because if you ask me, I'll tell you. But I'm not going to be like, well, I'm keeping it open. I'm keeping it real. I'm still dating other people. So you need to step your A game up. You know what I mean? I don't think you have to be like that or pick up your phone and talk around somebody. I think you should still be respectful.
Well, other thing is, I think for me personally, now it's been a long time since I've had the option.
Oh.
Back like 6 years, my college days mostly.
Mm-hmm.
But what?
Nothing. Go
ahead. Her wife, I've been young before. I think that when you start to cross over the line, and if you're having sexual relations on a regular basis, then you need to give serious consideration to whether or not you want to have a one-on-one relationship or not. And in this day and age, back when I was dating, during those years, AIDS was not something that was known about. And that does not mean it did not exist. It was just that it wasn't part of our dating world. And keep it in mind, when I came along, as about 10 years and going into my 20s, that was the year. Those were the years of the civil rights movement and the years of the peace movement and the years of the infiltration of the drug culture, as well as the sexual revolution.
Right.
So a lot of things happened. We had Roe versus Wade in the early 70s. The women made legalize abortion. There's a lot of stuff going on that changed society in ways that it will never be the same again.
So what's the sneaky way?
The sneaky way. Or, you know what?
The sneaky way.
So each guy has no idea of what's going on, and that they run in 100% different social circles. So there's no chance of them running into each other. So keep your little date planner so you know what's going on, so you don't confuse the men. To use pet names such as honey or sweetheart, so you don't keep messing up their names. They're calling Bill and John. Yeah, when you call them honey, hi babe, hey honey, hi sweetheart. You don't even call them by their name. And don't be putting anything up on using social media to talk about.
Facebook. That's not nice. Don't want everybody in your business.
Good ones too are how to manage dating multiple people.
And don't be double booking. All right, and don't go to the same places. I got to tell a story about when I used to work the Radio Shack when I was a manager in training.
Okay.
And there was this black guy. He dated two women.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought one in on Valentine's Day. Made a big deal out of it. And then he brings in another one like to celebrate his birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And both women, they had no idea. It was kind of interesting to watch because you could tell that each woman thought that she was in a committed relationship. You could just tell. And he treated them as if they were. He treated them both like queens. It was very attentive to their needs. Blah, 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 looking at us, giving us eyes like, you better not say anything. So I was just in here a couple weeks ago with another woman. And it was just interesting to see it played out, bring them to the same place. So don't bring them to the same place so you never know what they blurt it out.
And my thing is, I still look at something like that and I say, did those women ever say, are you my man? Are we in a committed relationship?
Of course they did.
That doesn't mean they did. There's so many times when women will say, just because a man is attentive to me, and when I call, he answers, and when I have a problem, he answers, that means he's my man. That doesn't mean he's your man. That means he's a nice man. That doesn't mean it's your man.
Well, it does take time.
Unless you made it official.
Well, you can't make any assumptions about whether you are not in a relationship. And as women, a lot of pressure is put on us to be in a relationship because society tells us that we, as part of our feeling needed and wanted, is to be in a relationship as women. And I'm telling you, it still goes back to you got to love yourself first. Before you love anybody else, you've got to love who you are. And then you can move on to love other people. So, and if you're dating somebody else, and this day and time, maybe you could get my point.
I'm sorry.
Please use protection. That's what I was going to get to. All right, please use protection. The age rate is just running crazy with among heterosexual young women. Okay,
African American. It's really bad.
Women who are dating supposedly heterosexual men, but something's going on. Okay, so
because I think almost like 16% of not 16, maybe like what? 14% of the U.S. population. Well, we make up like almost half of the new HIV cases. So, you know, you have to protect yourself because obviously these men aren't caring.
Now, I want you to know we're not
point blank. Wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up. I don't want point blank. We're not saying we're advocating for what you call when you take us out of marriage, fornication.
You know what? No, you did not go through fornication.
Wow.
I just want to say that. We're just saying that, you know, we're talking about if people want to date two people at the same time, and if it should go to something that is as intimate as having,
sexual relations.
Okay, and you need to get choices there as well. Before you go on your stuff, is to keep like a little journal, a date journal. And that will help you, with your reflections and your writings. It will help you see whether or not one person is better for you than the other. Because sometimes it's hard to remember what's really going on in relationships. So this is, so you start keeping a journal and keep track, writing it every day. And after a while,
you're right, Gigi. Keep the pros and cons of who you're dating, right?
Yeah. Another trick I read years ago, if you're trying to figure out whether or not you should stay or go in a relationship, you do a list of the pros and cons, or you imagine in your mind what would happen if this person died tomorrow. Okay, how would that affect my life?
Okay,
wow,
that's depressing. Let me go on to my. Okay, so I have my little advantages and disadvantages and my little list of things to do while you're dating multiple people. So, what are advantages to dating multiple people? First of all, it speeds up the process of meeting the right person. All women want the one, so this just speeds that little clock right on up. And then, like you said in your journal, you're able to compare and contrast and really get to know yourself more. I like when a man is interested in going to the library and not going to a club, or you know what I mean. So you can see what kind of different men are out there and what you like. They say
intellectual.
Woman self-confidence.
Oh yeah, that said that a man can tell when you are in a relationship.
Yeah, they can tell you're in a relationship because you're all happy and confident and feeling sexy.
And they're attracted to that.
Right.
And then you're holding your first date skills in the process. So, you're finding out what kind of questions to ask and how to maybe, get you a little sexy on for the first date or how to look motherly on the first date. All that. And just, not putting all your eggs in one basket. And really that kind of alleviates the pressure of feeling like, is this one guy the one? I want to make sure that he knows I'm interested in, waiting for that one person to call. No, you go live your life. You have fun.
That's right. Live it up.
It's all the be all. Now, of course, they say there's disadvantages. And so they said some people just can't handle it emotionally. I guess Dree said, she's one of those things.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Unfortunately.
They don't want to think of, well, if I'm dating somebody else, or they dating somebody else, and I don't want him to think this, and I don't want him to think I'm a hoe, stuff like that. So they just rather say, I want to date one person, concentrate on that, which, you got to find out what you want. Then they say some people, they get mad when other people want to date other people because they say, oh, would that mean that you're not sure what you're looking for, or I'm not good enough, you're just wasting my time until you find the right, Mr. Right. That's another one, how people can feel bad. Then they say, sexual compulsion. You just want to go out and try different wee-wees.
What?
Well, let me just add this. As far as Oscar wieners and all that go, no. Me, I wouldn't. I wouldn't say that about me, but me, I just am very sensitive, which can be a good thing. And I know what I want, and I don't like to date a lot of people because I'm be confused. I might call Joe Robert. You don't want to do that.
And like some people that get on my nerves, those people that I'm putting up my quote hands, that they'll be like, I'm single or I'm married. So, even though they're in a relationship, like
come on Facebook,
been with people for like 5 years and still be like, oh, well, I can still go out on dates. See, I have a problem with those people because you try to act like, well, I'm single or I'm married. I don't like people like that. But that's my little thing.
Well, when you
That's crazy.
well, because you would think if you've been in a relationship for 5 years, someone must think there's something more going on than what actually
and
is.
you need to start being honest.
And you need to be honest with yourself.
Because you know if you want that person or not.
Yeah. So the other thing is, I was reading Madame Noor website, and they were talking about dating two people. And they were saying, if you know you're dating two people and you're not really ready to commit to either one of them, then don't lead the person on, basically. Okay? So they gave a lot of reasons for that, such as...
And that's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard to be like, well, you know what? I found someone else I'm more attracted to. I want to, go further with this person. You got to put your big girl panties on for that. That's a hard conversation to have because men do not take rejection well. Like, it's easier just to stop answering your phone. It is.
Yeah. Well, and it's hard. And
men do that all the time.
Well, it's hard. And unfortunately, I was just, reflecting on how, 40 years ago, 35, 40 years ago, how much easier it was to walk away from a relationship. Just that this isn't working. You didn't have cell phones. You didn't have the computer at all. You didn't have emails. You didn't have social media. So
right.
when it was over. You could just walk away. But now, my goodness, they can
They can do too much now.
So, but anyway.
So I thought it was interesting.
I make my whole point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't be doing anything that's serious with that person that feels like it's committed and that, you want more. Like, you don't go meet his family necessarily. You don't do things, like if he's sick, you go to the hospital and you buy his bed 24/7. And don't.
But I think that's caring.
No,
I don't think
you gotta draw a line there and let them know, okay?
I think that shows that you care too.
Well, yeah, I don't agree with that one.
Well, okay, they're just saying, if they.
Because if you truly like that person, you do care about someone that is sick, like the hospital.
True.
You could go call like, you already know. Okay, well, when
they on that deathbed too.
When you get out, you can take me out and talk to you later. Like, no. Plus, I think when you're dating multiple people as a woman, this is another thing. Like, I don't think you can always expect the man to pay every single time.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true.
I know they talked about it. They said you shouldn't. I go, take that man's money, baby, but it's not morally right.
You're saying that
it's not
feel like that.
It's not. I know I don't feel like that, but a little teeny part of me in the crack of the back of the mind,
right?
Like, hey, he
bring that
has to go out. But I think to make your conscience feel better, go. You know what? If it's a movie ticket, I can just buy my own movie ticket. But if I just got a lobster, that's a little bit of money.
It's also where.
Right.
Go ahead, Doreen.
No, I was just commenting. You can go ahead, Gigi.
I was going to say, it also depends where you are mentally in that relationship.
Right.
And you know where you are. If you know there's no way in hell that you're going to end up in a permanent relationship with someone, you're just biding your time. You like them because maybe they do nice things for you. They don't mind taking you out to dinner, to nice restaurants.
But I think if you're not interested, you shouldn't be going out with that person.
I was about to say that. But some people like that, and they will lead somebody on, and the man is spending his money, but in your heart of hearts that this is not the person for you. That's very misleading. That's very dangerous this day and time. And one of the things, and I guess I was a little old-fashioned. One of the things my mother drilled in my head was, be careful about taking money from a man because he may think that he owns you. So I always kept that in my mind, and I have to say, in 2012, I don't know about that advice. Because I missed out on some really, nice, good. I don't know what the relationship could have been. When they made offers, but they premised it with the fact that they had a lot of disposable money. And then
that would be annoying.
Well, men do it in many ways. They let you know that they have money in many different ways, and that never really appealed to me because I always felt like you were trying to buy my services, buy my attention. And now that I'm older, I realize that that's just part of their posturing of letting you know that they are financially able to take care of you. But I didn't say it that way 40 years ago or 30. Go ahead.
Okay,
right.
Well, just talking about this guy, Dr. Lee Miller. He does like kind of like science relationship articles, and he does a research program focusing on just relationships. And he said for men, it makes sense to them to sleep with as many women as possible because it maximizes their odds of a lot of babies. But he said for women, they said a lot of times a lot of women feel bad about dating a whole lot of different men because if we're the ones that come out pregnant, in an evolutionary standpoint, we have a disadvantage when we have kids by all these men that can't take care of children. So our strategy for women is to usually be selective and hold out for a partner who is willing to be reliable. So maybe that's why, I think more women feel bad about dating multiple men than.
Well, I've always been a one man woman.
Oh, really?
So if I'm
You're a man, you said one man woman.
So if I'm in a somewhat serious relationship, then I would feel guilty. I'm just saying that now, even before marriage.
Right.
But if I was in a kind of, when you're in a somewhat committed relationship, you can tell the difference between a fly by night and something that you're going to invest some time in, And if you just flying by night, it may be one night, it may be 2 months, it may be 3 months. But at the end, if this, Mays used to say, don't waste when you get older, don't waste your time with someone who you have no intention of ever marrying. He said, because that person lacks the qualities that are necessary, that you want, that you're looking for.
Right.
So don't waste time with people like that. Keep it moving. So sometimes maybe it takes a day or two for you to say, no, not interested. I thought maybe yes, but no. So,
but I think as women, that's how we get in the trap because we're dating this one guy, and then we're like, oh well, I don't feel like getting back in that pool. No, you stay in the pool
and never
and don't get out that pool until you get what you want. Now, I think it's harder for women as well because men, I feel like, try to pressure women to have sex. So you have to be very strong. You know what I mean? Because they feel like, oh, well, as soon as I spend a little bit of money,
That was my other cousin saying, man.
And I make a point to you, too.
But the man take you out and buy you a steak. Later on, he wants his meat back. So.
Oh, my God. Gross. So, I had a little tips on how to manage dating multiple people as well, kind of piggybacking off of you, Ms. Gigi. So, how can you remember their names? This is how you can remember their names. In your cell phone, you need to put their first name, and then their last name is going to be where you met them. So it'd be like Jason Hooters, Marcus, baseball game. So as soon as they call, you'd be like, oh, Marcus from the baseball game. Oh, okay,
That's actually cute. I like that.
Maria.
Okay.
So when they try to act like they're sexy, like, you know who this is? Yes, I remember I met you at this. And hopefully they'll help you jog some memory. What?
Okay, technology.
Yes. So, and then they said make sure if you do have, your Facebook, it's set to private. And then you're not even putting your dates on there. You know how they have like Foursquare or where you can say you're at? No, you're not doing that. You're not. Them on none of these sites. You can tell them, I really don't. People that I'm dating, I don't like to add on this site until I'm in, committed relationship. Because right now you're playing the field. I don't want you in my business.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. So they said, if you are doing the little 2 dates on the same day, what did you call it? That you're dating 2 people on the same day. Well, anyway, they said use a family excuse. But they said don't make it close family. You got to be like, oh, it's my cousin's birthday party that I got to go to. Because you don't want to say your mom's birthday, and then it's like, oh, how was the birthday party? And your mom's looking like, what? When you decide to make this man your man. Like, my birthday's not for another 2 weeks. So you got to use that distant cousin. And then, of course, don't take your date anywhere where you're. And then just try to remember your conversations in your journal.
Okay. And so you can use, and now you may want to use social media to do something like let your opinion be known via social media, which is, I think that, if the people should date other people until they get into an exclusive only relationship, Something like that on your profile. You can talk about what it means to be just dating and how do you move into an exclusive relationship.
Right.
Back to the other person. So, once again, to be honest, you got to play it by ear. I'm just going to say that. Because
I think you got to do whatever you feel comfortable doing, but we have given you some tips for maybe changing your mind or, going dating multiple people or not dating multiple people. But we're up. Oh, my gosh, we are at the end. Okay. Dree, you got any last words?
We are.
No?
All right.
Well, I do have a tip. I do have a tip, okay? Don't meet a guy at Hooters, okay? Because the chances are he's probably looking at other girls besides you. I wouldn't do it.
I just used that like someplace that
I know
met.
that was cute, but no.
Okay. So, once again, we are RIB Media. We're still going over our time. We got to, I guess, sharpen up our stuff. Make sure to friend us on Facebook.
Follow us at Instagram, RIB Radio.
Instagram, RIB Radio. On Twitter, RIB Radio. Mom, anything left to say?
No, I think we gave out some tips if you want to do that. And we're not talking to the women who want to meet one guy on the first date. You want to become exclusive. Yeah, that's just too soon. You barely know his name. You barely know his name. Take the time.
And definitely make sure we are having a special guest, Rashida from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Next
Boss Music.
Yes, 4 p.m. So definitely make sure to keep in touch. We are RIB. We're made from a man, built by
women. See you later.
All right.
Hey, ladies, stand up. It's the year of the woman. Stand up. It's the year of the woman. Don't take no stuff now, ladies. Stand up with me. Welcome to RIB. Welcome to RIB. Welcome to RIB with the Queen is Angie G.